One. Welcome back to the Jagged Edge. Javal, how are you doing today?
Took a little hiatus, but we're here, we're back in town. So not literally in town, but man, it just feels
Back
weird.
back on the pod. It's very, very weird. Sorry, I
And
have
I
a
mean,
weird just a summary of a
no,
lot of things that happened basically for the last month that we haven't spoken
yeah,
to each
I
other.
mean, we kind of dropped the ball, but at the same time, it's the off season, so there's gonna be time to catch up. I mean, I guess we kind of just jump into the first big news, which is the Trevor extension. So,
I mean,
uh,
highest tied with the highest paid quarterback in the league until that gets broken,
until that
probably
gets
soon.
broken and before training camp.
Just because
Whenever
we're
Jordan
recording,
Love
it's
or
gonna
Tua
happen now
signs.
while we're
Yeah.
recording.
No, it's gonna happen literally right after we finish. We're gonna upload the video and then it's gonna be announced Jordan Love is signed or Tua is signed or whatever. But
Hmm.
man, it's crazy because obviously I remember the day where I was when we had the number one pick after the Jets blew it, and then just thinking, man, we're getting Trevor Lawrence, and now just looking back years later, and not only is he here, but some people can say, oh, the production, oh, this and that. But at the same time, he's pretty much been what he was supposed to do for the city. I think that's the most important thing
Hmm.
is I guess it's kind of good that it happened because we talk about everything in tandem. But the fact that, obviously Trevor got paid and then the stadium deal happens, there's no such thing as a coincidence. And obviously the stadium deal was kind of in the works before then, so I don't want to put too much dip on their chip and say it was only because of Trevor. But at the same time, I mean, Trevor did have a big part in this and making the organization look more stable, and I think that goes a long way into the Jags are turning things around from being a laughing stock. Even the last 2 years, it was a disappointment, but they went 9-8 the last 2 years. And even just the Trevor effect alone has just been crazy because I think it feels not only is the ceiling higher, but the floor is a lot higher.
Hmm.
Because obviously we've seen some bad teams. And even when things went bad, the floor was still what? I think the floor with Trevor is still going to be 7-8 wins, and then the ceiling is as high as the rest of the team allowed to take it. So, it feels exciting that we're really in a time where even if you may have some concerns about, fumbling or can he really be that good, I think at the very least you have a quarterback who you feel good about, and that's the important thing.
No, 100%. He really deserves it. Like, to put it everything into perspective, in the decade prior to Trevor Lawrence being quarterback here in this franchise, so he gets drafted what, 2021. So let's go from like 2011 down to like, he was drafted. How many winning seasons can you count that happened between 2011 to 2020? Oh, look at that. It's just on your
I didn't,
finger.
I
Yeah,
didn't need to think
he didn't.
about it.
Yeah. It was
I
just one. It's just one. He's
That
won.
was
He's got two winning seasons in a row for the last 2 years. He's only been in the league for 3 years, with the fourth approaching very quickly. This is like I get like you want to ask for more. I get it. We want to see more from a person that was labeled as generational. But remember where we were a decade prior to Trevor Lawrence being our quarterback. Ever since David Garrard left the Jacksonville Jaguars, we've been so unstable at that position. Hell,
I
people would
mean,
argue that we've been unstable since freaking Mark Brunell left the Jacksonville Jaguars back in 03, 04. So, you know, I'm just that's just my point of view. We've seen so much bad quarterback play that I feel like seeing Trevor Lawrence make a mistake then and there doesn't really bother me. I mean, of course it'll bother me during the game, but just like we could be in such. Can you imagine if Zach Wilson was our quarterback
oh
last
my
season?
goodness. I
Doesn't have.
Would the stadium deal happen? I don't think it would happen as quickly. I think I was listening to Shipley and Gustar on their pod, and they're saying, it probably wouldn't have happened as quickly, but there probably would have been a lot more no's, or at least a few more no's, because I mean, at least when you have a quarterback that national media can be excited about, there's more scrutiny around the team. That's because more people are actually caring about the team, and that's the
Mhm.
important part. Because before who the hell was actually caring about the Jags, you know? And now it's actually, well, we're getting more scrutinized, but it's kind of a good thing in a weird way because
Like
they
a lot.
actually have
Yeah.
they have somebody who's worth scrutinizing over, if that makes sense.
hmm Like it looks so tough being a Jaguar fan between like, that Blaine Gabbert to Blake Bortles era of Jaguars football because you always hear the London stuff, especially when they took the London games annually for the first time. It didn't look great. It really didn't
Oh
look
man.
great. But
Yeah,
yeah,
where's
that
the Jason
actually
Canfora tweet?
exactly. It actually goes on to our next topic. Like we I think we know we talked enough about Trevor Lawrence because we have our opinions. We think he's great. A lot of
If
people
if
outside of
you're
Jacksonville.
watching this pod, you
Yeah.
probably know how we feel about Trevor and that we think that he's not the issue. So,
hmm
because we actually,
I
watched
personally
him
think he's
play.
him. Yeah, we've seen
We
every
we
single.
actually watched the Jaguars play and understand this is not a normal football team. And then so when you watch them play, it's just funny though because I feel there's two sides of non-Jags fans.
hmm
It's what I was talking about Trevor. There's the people who, bring in the advanced stats and who actually watch the games and let's say, hey, Trevor doesn't look bad. A lot of just people whether he's unlucky or things around him. And there's people who just pull up the
The
quarterback
fantasy football
comparisons,
fans, they're
the
like,
fantasy
oh
football
yeah,
heads who pull
yeah.
up the touchdown number and say, well, they shouldn't have just kept Minshew or he's not much better than Daniel Jones. People just use your eyes. That's the thing. I feel Trevor is the ultimate eye test because when you watch him play, you see the good traits, you see the positives, and then you see the plays that don't count. Some of this is his fault, some of which aren't his fault. But you see the things that happen in the Jags offense where you say, well, if that didn't happen, then I get 30 touchdowns. And then you have the people who are just, well, he's not that good, who just they don't watch the game. And it's just I don't know what to tell people, man. I don't know what to tell people.
Oh yeah, and congrats to Trevor and Marissa on having their first child on the way too. I know they're not
That that
watching,
that
but
that was
that's
that was definitely planned,
the
right?
cherry on top of everything. Get a new contract, and yeah, your first
Congrats on
child
the
on the.
sex.
Congrats on the sex, Trevor
Con-
and
congrats on
Marissa.
the money and congrats on the sex.
Absolutely. What a lucky woman that Marissa is. But
Yeah, I know her that closet is going to be expanding.
that definitely the child. Oh man, they're gonna be spoiled with
I was talking
that
about the
QB.
contract.
Yeah, that QB money is crazy, man.
I'm just saying that push gift is better be something crazy for Marissa.
Oh, absolutely.
Trevor got no excuse.
You don't. You really don't. But yeah, I mean the second line of news that we missed out on because we took a while break, stadium deal done. We kind of just approached about it. All it's up to is the NFL owners approving it in their annual meeting, and was it the October, I think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why they would say
No,
no
this never happened. So,
unless the NFL literally hates the Jags, which is not impossible. So.
but it's like the funding's there, the plan's there. It just needs just waiting a yes from was it 24 out of 32 owners, and it's done. And Shad Khan is liked among a lot of owners in the NFL, so it's probably done.
Yeah, I mean, Chad's not really a owner that people dislike,
hmm
especially. I mean, probably it's in the owners themselves. I don't think they have a reason to say no because it
hmm
doesn't really benefit them. It doesn't really hurt them. Plus, it's a shared pool, so the more money brought into Jacksonville, that'll just kind of help everybody.
In the
So
NFL. So yeah, it's happening. It's very weird, especially the process leading up to the stadium in 2028. We still got 4 years away. We have like 2 years with regular seats, 1 year without like the upper deck, I think, because they're going to
the
start
upper
working around. Yeah, so there's going to be 2 years construction around the stadium, 1 year, what was it 25, 20? Yeah, so yeah, so
25 and 26 will
the
just be
24,
regular.
25 is normal. 26, they're going to remove the upper deck seating. 27
27
is
is
20
when just
we play wherever, we don't know yet. And 28 is when it's finally done.
I think it'll be. I just hope it's not Gainesville. I'm sorry.
I know it is probably going to be Orlando. I know I want Daytona because it's in between everything, and I also love going to Daytona. We'll get to that later. I went to Daytona recently and I love it. So
Yeah, you did go to Daytona.
that's true because I was like, you know what? Because I did the drive there and it's just 90 minutes of like I-95 driving. It's fantastic. I would do it again. But it's probably not going to be Daytona as much as we want the weird like Jaguars playing at the Speedway. like scenario. I
Running
still might.
down at the speed of sound. Sorry. Sorry
No,
for
it's
the Sonic tangent.
of course. I mean, I also went. I mean, I also went to the Sonic Symphony in New York before we I got married too. I have to tell you
Just
about that too.
casual flex to the people who haven't been listening.
Casual flex to people who like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be Orlando because I'm gonna guess that it's going
Dream
to be
World?
the first half of the season will be in London for the home games, and then the second half will be in Orlando, Florida.
I
That's
don't think they
my
could.
guess.
I don't know if they could do that many home games though. I mean, I think if they, I feel that'd be a slap to the fans at home, even if it was. I feel if they even had two London games, or let's say they scheduled it where it's more away games and then London games, and then at the end it could be some. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of things to think about,
Because the
obviously. So
NFL, I just feel like the NFL really wants to experiment with this whole Europe ordeal. And I think the best way to do it is have that, first half of the season, especially when it's super hot in Florida, get September,
I
October
mean,
for
yeah.
the Jaguars to play like just like back-to-back games in London, but not like, where they have to travel back and forth between Florida and Europe and all that stuff. But it's just something to consider or something that the NFL might do, unless they just want to do the full like, regular the ordeal that they're doing now, where they just play what 6 home games in Orlando. And then they have like a back to back in London, like they're doing right now. But instead of like a home and away, they'll just do a home and home. Like I don't know what they're gonna do. That's just so far down the line. But it's
Yeah,
fun to
it's
speculate pretty early.
I mean, obviously for convenience sake, I hope it would be in Orlando, so I wouldn't have to drive as far. But I
Yeah.
mean, Daytona's still better, so I can stomach Daytona
Yeah,
and be
because
fine
it's
with that.
you only have to drive like what 45 minutes anyways, it's instead of like 2 hours to get to Jags.
Yeah, I'd probably be close to an hour, which I'm already thinking a lot about
The
beaches. I'm
parking
trying
is
probably
already
gonna go
there
to the beach
too.
tomorrow.
That's because they have already parking for the Speedway for the 100,000 people. You don't even need that much parking. You're probably gonna only need like 60,000 or 50,000, depending on how many people will make that drive from Jax to Daytona or Orlando to Daytona or wherever people are. Because there are some Daytona Jags fans too.
I mean, yeah, there's
Yeah.
all over kind of North Florida, so
hmm So, like I said, like North and Central Florida would just be like a good, I think, in between. But I think from what we've heard from our friends, it's probably between Gainesville and Orlando. Would not like Gainesville just because there's one way in, one way out. And
Gainesville would be so or I'm sorry.
I would just do probably just the one game in Gainesville just to see what it's like, and then that would probably be it personally. But if it's like Orlando or like Daytona, I would do a lot of Daytona. I don't know about Orlando personally. I would try to do like a couple though for sure. Since I have
I
you,
mean,
I know Johnny. We have a couple like Orlando Jags
there's
fans.
people.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
know people, so
I,
more
I
people.
feel if it's Daytona, I could get season tickets even if I'm not there. If it's Orlando, I would just literally be at every game,
You just be like,
every tailgate.
yeah, I'm storming. I'll just stick at your place whenever we wait for traffic to die or some shit. Because I'm not doing that. I'm
I
not
mean, yeah,
doing that.
my crib's always open if they did it Orlando. So fingers crossed. Obviously, we got
Hey,
a
you're like,
long ways to
yeah,
go, but
John in my
I'm
place in
just
Orlando. Let's go.
I just want to fast forward to when it's 2029 and it's September and then they actually have a roof and we're not dying.
Yeah, thank God. 2028 is
That
gonna be so
that'll
exciting,
that'll
man.
be the greatest moment in Jags history.
Unless it's like a
It'll be
greenhouse. Yeah,
it
or
could
I'm
be
gonna kill
winning the Super
myself.
Bowl one. The winning Super Bowl is going to be two, and then the second one is just going to be the Jags actually having a roof.
Would it be crazy if the year that we're away from Jacksonville is the year we actually win the Super Bowl?
Oh my good, don't
I'm sorry. It's a possibility. That's
you're
all I'm
not
saying.
wrong,
I don't want to
but I
say
hate
it, but it's out there. That scenario is also out there. The year that we're
I
away from Jax could be the year.
I hate that it's a realistic possibility given
hmm
our luck.
Yeah. But like I said, that's far down the line. We're happy to get a new stadium. We have a roof over our heads because the first game that we're here against Cleveland and it's like 95 degrees and
Oh
we're
my!
all inside the concourse dying. It's just gonna make us, can we please just fucking NFL owners, please.
Please just
Just say
approve this
yes.
tarp.
Just say
Yeah,
yes. You
say yes to the
assholes.
tarp owners.
Like, oh my God.
Don't let us die in this heat for no reason.
Definitely.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where it's obviously it's very long term, so who knows when it'll happen. But it is just exciting that, hey, they're I don't see them saying no, so it's pretty much just all you have to do is wait for construction.
Mhm.
And hey, new stadium, new quarterback. So just knowing that not only will the Trevor be here for the long term, but obviously
The
the
Jaguars
stadium's gonna be
themselves.
the
And I'm
Jags,
not I'm gonna be in my 50s the next time they have this conversation. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is
I'm
pretty
gonna
crazy.
right. I don't have to think about this anymore until I'm in my 50s, which is like crazy. I've been like, lifelong Jaguar fan, so you're a little bit late, Javal, but
I still
we've
have
both seen a
enough
lot of
pain.
yeah, you've
I,
seen
I've
enough
I've
shit
been
to
through more
know.
than enough pain,
Yeah, that's true. That you have. I just wish you were like still like around for like 2007. That was like my
I
first playoff
yeah.
run for the Jaguars. So that was fun. 2017 though is something we all share forever and ever because of the social media especially. But we want more memories like that and hopefully we actually get to the Super Bowl. That's just the next step. And that's the first thing Trevor said in his press conference too. His biggest goal is just to bring a championship to Jacksonville. I mean, that would just mean so much. That'd just be the cherry. Like we want all the cherries on top of everything, Marriage, great. Trevor, child, also great. The Super Bowl of Jacksonville. Oh, we would the statue would be like erected, like not even like a
Something
month
else would
later.
be erected. That's
If
all I'm
that's
gonna say.
yeah, I
Something
mean
else would be erected.
for Super Bowl in Jacksonville, I think I would legitimately cry tears, but that's just a lot of Jaguar fans that have seen some shit throughout the years. If the majority, if you don't cry when the Jaguars win the Super Bowl, you're not a real fan. I'm
You're
just
not
kidding.
human. You're
You're
not
not.
human.
Yeah. After all the shit that we've been through, no, I will legit cry if that day ever comes. Please, please come.
I don't
Please
want see
come.
now I don't want to get too delulu, but hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey man, it's nice to have hopes and dreams. One of
Hope
32,
is a
right?
dangerous thing
It
though.
is.
Hope
It
is a
is.
dangerous thing. But it's crazy that, obviously they said, oh, the Trevor deal was gonna happen. And I thought it was probably gonna be, maybe right before training camp or during training camp, but nope, it's definitely good vibes for the off season, just for Trevor. I'm sure he must feel great that everything is settled for him. He doesn't have to worry too much about. I don't think he was worried, but he's got the contract, so
It's all
it's a good
signed, done
it's
and
it's a good
delivered.
time to be a fan before the season actually starts.
Yeah, it's the vibes are very good, and apparently they're close to also giving Tyson Campbell a new contract, according to one of our buddies. Like, oh, I mean, all right. I
Rib.
mean, Tyson Campbell probably his like he kind of regressed last year, but the traits are
I
there.
think part of that
He
was also just due to the
injuries,
injuries. I
yeah,
mean,
he was pretty good
well,
before them. Like, I get it too. He wasn't like bad at all.
I think it is a bit of a gamble just because with Tyson, he really hasn't played that much man since his rookie year. But I think at the same time, though, if you believe in the traits, which I think a lot of us do, then
Hmm.
I mean, corners don't really grow on trees, so especially ones that have the tall athletic traits. I mean, he was a second round pick for a reason. So it wasn't just he was a scrub to be a scrub. He's a good player.
Definitely. I agree with that too. It's hard to build corners like Tyson Campbell these days, so I can see why they would want to keep him around too.
So I'm curious if they do get a deal with him done before the season, how that'll affect his play. Because I think it's definitely, I don't want to say a make or break year because I think he'll probably get a good chance of getting paid. But just as a
Hmm.
corner in contract year, the more you do, because he has some good, honest film already. It wouldn't be
Hmm.
a full on fluke year. But if he has a true breakout year under Chris Richard and Nielsen, but if he can say, hey, I can play a lot of press and still be pretty good, he's gonna get $20 million a year, which I don't mind paying that as a corner because
Hmm.
that's just kind of the going
Especially
rate.
with the salary cap keeping going up and up and up and up, which is why I don't mind paying Trevor Lawrence now. The cap's gonna keep going
What do
up.
you mean why won't you pay Trevor Lawrence? You can just get Gardner Minshew and all these first round picks for equivalent deals. Look at their touchdown rate numbers.
Well, actually.
Sorry, just fantasy nerds just drive me off the wall, dude.
No, they should I can't say it on camera, but they should commit the not alive is basically what I'm trying to say. Uh
Suicide?
Like that's my toxic trait right there. So whenever people make fun of the Jaguars or my quarterback, my king, our savior, Trevor Lawrence, that's when I go,
Our
all right,
glorious
you need to
king.
go. Yeah, we need to go full toxic mode. I used to be super toxic on Twitter, but I think that's most of Jaguars Twitter between like anytime
Who
you're a
on Jack's
Jaguar
Twitter
fan,
isn't toxic though?
that's
Let's be
true.
real.
And when we're toxic, we're very funny. So that's what makes it worth it. We're pretty hilarious with our toxicity. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
that's one way to put it.
That's but
That's definitely one way to put it.
any other Jag stuff you want to talk about before we just kind of ramble on? We still got a lot of time.
I mean, I'm trying to think of anything that's popped up recently. I know that someone did a most underrated Jags list and they had Parker Washington as there, which I would have not,
Underrated? I mean,
yeah,
okay.
I would have not
He got Trevor
guessed
Lawrence
that.
killed last year, but I don't know if that's underrated, like
See,
underrated
I
to ruin
mean,
our season, but
I guess that's kind of a little mini rant is I know a lot of
yeah.
people hate on Parker for the moment, and I mean it's not great, but at the same time,
You
he
don't
was
want
a
that to
rookie
happen. Yeah,
playing in
but
his
like
first game, so
oh yeah,
I
here's an important spot. So go out and play slot for your first time in your career, and you got Trevor Lawrence killed. I mean, that's kind of like that would ruin a lot of players' psyche. So the fact he still like caught a couple touchdown passes like throughout the end of the year, great. But also, please don't kill Trevor again. There's your
I mean
mulligan.
I don't think at the same time though. Speaking of killing Trevor, my main biggest thing is really just I still am just very much curious on this O line now. It's going to look because that's really the one thing. The secondary, I think they'll probably can be hit or miss, but if you can even get turnovers the same way Caldwell did, I can live with that. The O line is just very well, they
Oh, didn't
made
PFF call the Jaguar D line the 26th best defensive line in the league, even after adding Eric Armstead, which
yeah, which
is very egregious in my opinion.
I mean,
It's a
if
little
they're going
egregious,
strictly off last year and their grades, then
I
it's one of those things where
guess. Yeah.
because I know they didn't grade Trevon super high, which I understand that. I know Josh must have got a high grade, but after them, I mean, it's just Josh, Trevon who had a middling grade, Eric Armstead, and then people who had bad grades from their system. I kind of get it, but I don't know.
Roy Robertson Harris.
I actually am pretty excited to see the D line this year, just because I
Me
think
too.
they have. Oh, this is gonna, see, that's the thing. I hope they can do the reverse jinx because the whole time last year, I was saying I'm excited for the offense, and then the defense carried. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited for the defense. So offense, please carry. But I mean,
Yeah.
just between you got Josh, you got Trevon, Eric, Travis Gibson is just just not them not having Chase on is just automatically an upgrade. So I will miss Smoot, but I will not miss.
I will not miss that man. I can't believe he tried to start fights in Carolina already. Or was it like a camp or whatever? Like, bro, you only have like
He's
three career sacks or
he's
four
either
career
gonna
sacks to your
he,
name, and
he's either
you're
gonna break out for 7 sacks or literally do nothing.
is gonna be
Probably
good.
do nothing, but
Yeah. In Carolina. God bless you, Carolina Panthers fans, if you're out
it's
there.
would it be the Dante Fowler where he? Well, I mean, I feel Fowler kind of has a steady career. At
Yeah.
least Fowler had 8 sacks that
At least
2017
he had
year.
one pass rush move. He had one. That's all that matters. He had like that
Yeah,
one spin move, right? And that was it.
I don't even know if what is Jason's pass rush move, other than
It's that.
but
It's that and that alone. Yeah, Jags. Training camp, please get here. So I can go watch you. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't wait to see it in person and die in the heat while doing so. Well, no, it's covered now at the Miller Electric Center. I forgot that.
yeah, it's not gonna be September
Yeah.
and stadium. So thankfully it's better. I guess the one question I was kind of curious was obviously this is just more so speculation. I'm really
Hmm.
just wondering how they're going to use both Gabe and BTJ as not even as route runners, but how many routes are they going to ask them to run? Because
Hmm.
just one of my things that if I can't fall asleep, I'll just try to think about designing up Madden plays just
Yeah.
randomly, and that kind of helps. So I'm just wondering because obviously you have Gabe, who's the de facto vertical threat, just like Brian Thomas, who's another vertical threat. Are
Hmm.
they just going to send? I don't want them to just be streaks and post every single time,
They're not
but I
going to, but like, maybe a couple out routes in there, a couple slants. And also it's also what you want to do. because you have viable receiving options in Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk, and even ETN. He caught like a 50-yard touchdown pass, just going streaking on the outside, like like that one time out of a blue moon. You get Travis Etienne to run a streak route on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for BTJ, it's one of those things where you don't want to overcomplicate his route tree,
Yeah.
but you also don't want. It's one of those things where I guess training camp really determine how they feel about him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the one thing was just his route running. It wasn't that he was a bad route runner, but it was that LSU they asked him to run very simple route tree because they had neighbors in the slot. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's that I don't even think it would be a bad thing if if BTJ and Gabe were pretty much just vertical guys, because I think with Trevor it could work. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just curious how creative they will be in getting them, are they gonna get maybe BTJ in motion, getting him out some crossers? Because I think the one thing I want to see him on, besides just, some slants and some post, is I think he maybe get a crossing route, a deep crossing over the field, kind of let Gabe be on a post and then BJ on a cross behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Let Kirk and Ingram get some motion, space. ETN let them get space underneath. So I'm very curious to kind of just see. I know it's training camp. They're not going to show
Too much.
everything per
Yeah.
se, but really just how the offense will be utilized because. And even if, with Ingram and Kirk, are they even going to get a little bit vertical some? Because I'm not going to say it has to be a full on four verts offense every time, but
Mm-hmm.
with Gabe and BTJ hopefully stretching the field more out, maybe they can send, you know, Ingram on some seam routes, Kirk on. Because I feel that for the most part, they tried Ingram vertically a little bit on the first half of 2022. And then after they said, hey, we'll get a more horizontal speed, that'll
Mm-hmm.
work, which I think it can still work in this offense. But I'm just wondering if he's just going to be a horizontal guy or with hopefully better spacing supporting those guys. They can
Mm-hmm.
really get some slot fades, let really Kurt get some speed. So sorry for the just kind of tangent. I just really I'm very curious to know how the route tree will work and if it's going to be, with Doug, is he gonna say, hey, we're still gonna get some short routes for even the for Gabe, or is he just gonna be, hey, Gabe, we signed you to be a deep threat, so you're gonna be a deep threat all the time? I wouldn't even be upset though.
Yeah. Because you have downfield speed at receivers now. There's no question. It's just that whether Trevor can get it to them, and which we know he can do. We've seen it with Jamal Agnew of all people last year too. So like getting
Trevor
like
Trevor
some.
can get Marvin Jones some jump balls, so it's really just the more so how
I'm
the
just
offense
scared
will look.
because it seems like Press Taylor's gonna run it back as play caller again. Please prove me
I
wrong,
don't
but like
know. I
I just have that doubt that he's still gonna be doing it. And I think Shipley tweeted out like the difference of like the analytical offensive stats between the Doug Peterson ran offense and the Press Taylor ran offense and how like horrific Press Taylor was compared to like Doug Peterson the year before. Like I like show me something if you're gonna keep playing calling the plays, the press, just show us something.
I mean, it's really up to Doug because I guess the one thing going back to Shaw was that Shaw was saying he doesn't want to meddle too much in it,
Yeah.
which I respect because obviously you can have the dance the David Teppers, the owners who meddle
Yeah.
too much and they run the show. So I respect Shaw for trying to be
Trust the
a little more
coaches, trust
hands
the
off.
GMs, yeah. Just trust whoever you hired.
I'm
But
not
yeah.
mad at him, but even Shaw was saying, he has his own opinion, but he doesn't want to have an opinion. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure his opinion is, hey, Doug, I gave you
Please,
this
I'm
money to
begging.
cut.
This is our best chance to win a Super Bowl.
We gave
Please.
Trevor Lawrence all this money, so if the play calling's not good, then what are you doing, buddy?
hmm Basically. So yeah. I mean, I don't have a that's a pretty good concern though going into training camp. Uh, receivers and pass rush, like, that's just the things we've been asking about.
I'm just O line. Just can if if you wear the 32nd O line shirts this year and you play the 32nd offensive
I
lineman,
will kill you. I will kill you. I'm going to Rauscher. I know you're a bigger dude than me, but I'm going to find a way to make your life miserable, my dude. We can't do this again. We can't.
it's just very. I don't even know.
But also, it's Mitch Morse over Luke Fortner, so we're automatically going to gain 8 spots in offensive line rate because of that alone, I feel.
Is that that's the thing though?
Is it if it's the one thing that fixes
And
this Jaguars O line, it's the most hilarious thing ever. So
would
it's
for
bound to
if Fortner
happen.
being that bad tanked everything else, and then just getting an even average center would literally just transform the interior,
Yeah,
then hey, because I feel with press, the play calling wasn't great, but I think the play calling wasn't great because the offensive line wasn't great
yeah.
because he knew he had to get the ball out really quick, which is why the offense was so short. So I feel
The
even
fact
though
we won
press,
9 games last year with all those issues is very, very hilarious to think about. We still won 9 football games with having like that offensive line last year. It's just a testament to Trevor Lawrence. I don't think anybody else could do it. Like I said, like what if Zach Wilson was behind that line of scrimmage last year? We might win like three, not even
I don't
three.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't want to think about that scenario. So, but yeah, Jaguars football. Just it's just a spectrum. It's just a spectrum. We got all the positive vibes going into training camp. Please don't let us down. We got one Florida Cat team win a championship with your Florida
It was their
Panthers.
30th anniversary.
Speaking of 30th anniversary, we still haven't got the one thing that we've asked for, so I'm just not going
Oh,
to talk
dude,
about
haven't
it.
had throw.
That
What are they waiting on? Why not drop the throwbacks now and get everybody horny? I don't.
like
You
before
have
training
all
camp,
this positive momentum. Just
just
ride
keep
the
you
wave.
should have just done it after Trevor signed a contract. Just have him wear the actual jersey signing the contract. I mean,
I know they want to.
that's the thing that every player has been asking for. That's the thing that like all like the top stars, whether that was Trevor or Travis Etienne or like John, like they all fuck with the throwback look like we do. So like just give it to us. Is it too much to ask for?
Know what I want? Give
Yeah,
me what I want.
like exactly. I
I
feel
will,
like Dave
or I will
Batista
Batista bomb somebody.
to get a throwback, just a look at it.
Anything is
Yeah.
that if what it takes, whatever it takes. Do you remember that meme from the dude at the Fire Festival when
Oh
he was saying
yes.
whatever it? That's
Whatever it takes. That's
what
oh,
I.
you're gonna go that far? I don't know, go that far for some throwback.
Okay, maybe not that far, but
That far? That far?
that
Whatever it
I
takes.
really forgot about the throwbacks. That is actually kind of funny, but it's not
Yeah.
that funny
But it's
because
a lot of
what are
positive vibes. So hey, that's the last like good positive vibe before training camp if they just reveal it. Like, why wait till
any
like
day
closer?
now,
Why closer to the season? Well, just do it now. Get more money now. I don't get it. I really don't.
any day now. Waiting.
9:04 a.m., p.m., whatever. Just
I'm waiting on
9:04.
that 9:04.
Yeah.
They're gonna wait until it's 9:04 day job right before the season starts at 9:04 a.m.
Uh,
If they do that, I'm gonna be so
you
upset. But
might
actually, it would be great marketing. I can't even hate.
you might be right. I didn't think about
That's the
that.
only thing I really wonder what else is taking so long. Just because
Because they
it's
teased
already.
they did the LaFar stuff on 9:04 last year. So fuck, that might be it. That actually might be it. The Javal cracked the code. We'll have to see. But the fact
I
that it probably leaked early, it's well, it is not like leaked early, but that somebody within the Jags might have accidentally screwed up where they have to actually reveal it earlier than when they wanted to. Like why not? I don't know. Delaying it this
they,
long just seems stupid to me. Everybody else has their
everyone knows
throwback.
it's happening.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting on?
You tease it to us since April or March even. And like,
I'm tired of getting a taste.
yeah, I'm tired of being teased. Let me blow my load. God damn. Stop edging us,
That's
Jaguars.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, stop edging us. Just we're the jagged edge for a reason. We do enough edging as it is.
That was good. Can't even hate.
That was pretty good, right? That was off the dome. That's just crazy. But yeah, we do enough edging around here. Just let us blow our load for once, please.
I'm glad that you mentioned throwbacks because now I'm just dang. I think the
Now
only
now you're
thing
now you're just And you're just like, we're fiending for it.
I'm just ready to buy that Trevor throwback jersey, and then
Oh, it's
the
gonna hit
first
the it's gonna hit the streets like crack from the 80s. Like this every time. It's just gonna whenever it happens, Duval, it's gonna be like a flood of throwback jerseys at tailgates, just when you walk around the street. Anybody that has liked the Jaguars throughout the years, they want this shit. They've been wanting this shit for a long time.
BTJ catches literally one touchdown, and I'm buying a jersey.
You're buying that throwback jersey
The
immediately.
only that's the thing. I feel with rookies, if rookies are actually good, at least if it's a receiver, then I think they have a good shot of staying. But at least with Trevor now,
That
that jersey
first
is.
photo shoot was just everyone in that throwback jersey is gonna make me nuts uncontrollably. Like, can you just imagine just
I'm going to need to
Trevor,
call a
Josh?
doctor because it's
Yeah,
going to last longer than 4 hours.
it's going to. That's the thing. I'm gonna the smile off my face wouldn't be like taken away from me for a while. Just seeing that on our players again was like it's all I really asked for, you know?
Yeah, no, knowing our luck, they're either going to drop the throwbacks literally right after we get off, or pretty much on
904.
904 day. God,
I can't believe you might have cracked the code. That's crazy.
I'm just wondering what else could they realistically be waiting for?
They said the summer though. They said coming this summer, so it can't be at 904. Like it's like just at training camp. It's like, hey guys, welcome to training camp. Oh yeah, we have something for you in the lockers. Can you please try this on? Just that's your motivation to make the 53-man roster so you can wear the drip for all those like undrafted rookies and whatever. Here's your motivation. You want to look good? Here you go. Could be the last time you see this. I don't know. Like I'm just going whatever route my mind is taking me. Because if I was a player on the fringe and could not make the roster and I saw that, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna play
Yeah,
extra
they're
hard during
they're,
training
they're gonna
camp.
give out they're
Mm,
gonna give out the training camp jerseys. It's gonna be in the throwbacks, but you have to earn it. So
mhm. I mean, I'd fight for my roster life if I could wear those throwbacks. I mean, shit.
that's gonna make Josh Cephas just make the most. He's I gotta get that throwback jersey, man. I mean, I don't blame him. Throwbacks
I
are beautiful. So
yeah. But enough of Jags. How's your life been? What's the past month since we haven't spoken for this long on camera?
new clothes, new everything. New summer brand. Trying to market, and then yeah, it's just summer, so it's always hot out. It's always hot out.
Oh, it's miserable right now to be in the state of Florida.
But hey, I mean, I think the one bright side is that pool days have been back in season. So that's the one thing I love about Florida. It's just the pool. I got some chicken marinating for later tonight.
Hell
So
yeah. That sounds wonderful.
I'm getting back to Bree actually got me a one piece apron that has Sanji on it. So I need to use that as an excuse to actually,
Wear it. That's
yeah.
great.
So yeah, I mean it's summer, so I'm just trying to enjoy the vibes. Actually, Bree and I are going to San Diego in a couple weeks for her
Oh,
birthday. So
nice.
never been in California before, so looking forward to
Oh
that.
yeah, man. I've been to LA just because we have Bree's best friend lives over there. So I've been to LA multiple times, but I've never been to San Diego. Everybody tells me to go to San Diego though. So I heard it's beautiful down there. So I hope you and Bree have fun.
Hey, I heard it's not as hot, so it's actually kind of
That's good because
not
it's by
chilly.
it's along the coast though, yeah. So that makes
Yeah, there's a
sense. Yeah.
beach,
The Pacific
but
Ocean is a lot colder than, the warm Atlantic Ocean. So you're just gonna love that. There's no humidity there as well, so you're gonna love San Diego for sure.
yeah, even now it says it's 71 degrees, which now in Florida it's 90 degrees. So
But I gotta get the mail later. I have to walk across the apartment. I'm not looking forward to that walk to get the mail today.
that's so real though.
Just like a 15-minute walk to get the mail and back is like death.
I get it.
Yeah, but speaking of Daytona, I competed for the first time competitively for Tekken 8. If you don't like fighting games, like you got like weird controls, like very clicky like controllers. This is
Did
very
they
light.
have people were allowed to bring their own controllers,
No, you're
including the
supposed to
fighting
because
pads?
yeah, you're supposed to bring either your fighting pad or your arcade stick. That's, like $400 for some reason. Like I can't believe that there's like you have to yeah, it's actually like a venue where they allow you to check your bags because they you bring backpacks because a lot of the good players have to bring arcade sticks and all that. That's the traditional way of playing fighting games and all the best players most of the best players use it. There are the occasional good a fighting game player that just uses like a regular controller or just like a pad or like a fight pad like mine. That's just like, just like a regular size controller. But I did a lot better than I expected. I was happy. My hotel was along the beach too, so I got to see the sunrise right before I went out. That was the
Ooh.
most beautiful like experience. Like just having your hotel like looking along the beach is like fucking insane. Just looking along the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
Like
that's why you
looking
that's why
up.
you want to get that same hotel for every Jags game.
I know. Nah, I mean I can't afford like $300 a night though every time. I don't know how expensive it was, but it's a very pricey hotel. We had a discount though because of the convention. They gave us a good little discount, so which is
Who's your
wonderful.
main in Tekken?
It is Lily. She is a French, not French, Moroccan woman. Like very, very frilly, very girly character, which is very funny because we're big into Jax. I chose like the most frilly, girly character I think in the game. But I just
Definitely
like
anime vibes.
she's like yeah, French. The Japanese love the French vibes. I don't know why. Like almost every anime we watch, at least like the rom-com ones I watch, there's always like a French character or a French inspired character, which is very funny. But I got to meet my favorite video game developer of all time, and then he also signed like my personal like journal, which is like fucking fantastic. Like, look at them tiny Heihachi. That shit is fucking sick as shit.
That is pretty sick.
Like, I was like, bro, it's like the person that basically shaped my childhood for 20 plus years. Like, I got to like shake his hand and like, take a picture with him. So that's just incredible vibes throughout.
Fighting game tournaments, I know they're a different level of distance. When you have people just bringing their own fighting pads, just
Then I
that's when
got
you
to
know it's
get my
serious.
ass kicked. I had 2 days to prepare at the convention center just to like practice, and I was getting my ass kicked for like 48 hours leading up to whenever I had to go in my pools. But it was a fun experience. I definitely do it again. They're moving away from Daytona though because they outgrew the venue. There's just so many people that are into fighting games now. So they're moving back to Orlando where the actual like event started. So it's gonna be wonderful. I'm definitely gonna
I
try to
guess
go
I'll
next year.
guess I'll see you there in town, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Gonna have to. And got married like we talked about. It's in New York of all places, on the 10th of last month.
Subtle
Just
flex, subtle flex.
subtle flex, very subtle flex. But I've been together with her for over 10 years. Had to just like enjoy life while, just enjoying life before the Jaguars. But please don't ruin my
Ruin your
life again.
season.
No,
You
let's
know,
not
it's
ruin my
it's
life again.
the,
Just
the 8 months without football. Well, not even 8 months because the draft.
seven.
The
Yeah.
6 months without
6.
football. There's no draft.
No
It's
free
just that
agency, like
life is good. You get to chill. Life is so peaceful, and then as soon as you see that one training camp highlight, the hope
you
starts.
hear the
The hope
NFL on
starts.
CBS music plays before
Fox music
every
for
game.
me.
Yeah. You like
That
which one? Yeah.
that Fox music just hits
Yeah.
different.
That's
That's
fair.
just me though.
That's fair. I can agree. But like, we're just the calm before the storm that is the football season. We get college football game in 2 weeks too. That's also wild. Now we get a real college football game. The dynasty stuff yesterday got me excited. I'm a big
I hope
dynasty.
it's good so badly.
I think it will be. I'm very confident. I just hope the gameplay isn't dog shit, but everybody says played it said it's not really dog shit, so I'm very excited.
If this can I just go into a quick, not even a rant, but just
You were in Orlando. Just try to walk into EA's studio downtown and be like, "Hey guys, listen. Can I just touch this game for like 15 minutes? That's all I need. 15
I
minutes
just
is all I need."
I just really really re- I'm excited, but I'm also scared because I feel there's either two avenues.
Hmm.
Okay, three avenues, but the third one is probably the unlikely. Either that the game is gonna be actually pretty good, and that they're just probably gonna kind of it's gonna probably gonna get worse over time. They're gonna try to remove features because everyone was comparing college football to the last game NCAA 14. So I know there's gonna be a video
Yeah.
comparing 14
Both.
versus the
Yeah.
new one. Are they gonna have all the same features or not? I feel there's either a chance where either it's really good at first, and then either they're going to include all the features from NCAA 14 and then over time take some features out, because that's how they do it in Madden to add so many features. So it's just a swapping, or they're not going to have all the features in right away, and then they're going to say put these features in later, and then kind of do it year after year. Because that's just really my thing with Madden is that just everything got so stale, and I think a large part of that was due to the fact with once they added
NFL.
Ultimate Team. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
NFL also kind of the NFLPA did won't allow Madden to do as much as they want, which is kind of dumb. So I get that part that it being college football, hopefully it'll be a little more. I know they said that the NFLPA didn't want them to have concussions in the game, which is really stupid because this is a real life injury. It's not you can get concussions literally anywhere, but
Hmm.
whatever. It's just I think with Madden there've been so many times where there's been videos of older features in Madden games that have never been brought back that people were wanting to bring back and they just don't know why for them to just bring back features that no one actually cares for.
Yeah.
I think a large part of that is just due to the ultimate team factor where people can make money off ultimate team. Well,
Hmm.
not people. Madden EA makes money off ultimate team, and then
Hmm.
so they're pretty much the ones who, because due to Ultimate's popularity, they don't have to focus on making better features. The
Or
game
just
just prints
improving their
money every
franchise
year.
mode, which is where the most single player like
Yeah, that's the
experience.
thing.
Yeah, that's the
I,
reason
I
why we play like football games to begin with. It's just the franchise mode or the dynasty mode in college football games.
I was in a Madden franchise league for a couple years, so I played franchise on and off. So I know a lot about franchise and how it works. And I saw some of the franchise trailer for NCAA, and it does look interesting. There's definitely a lot more depth. I
Hmm.
can see that there's a lot of love being put in the presentation aspects and even some of the features. I'm not really too worried about the features in the game itself. I'm just really worried about the gameplay because I mean the largest thing is that, the thing with Madden is that they use the same engine year after year, year after year, and they don't really take time to update it. With this game, they had 3 years to develop it. So if the gameplay isn't going to be noticeably different, then now I don't see it ever really taking that next step up. And that's really the thing is they put a lot of time into the dynasty, into making a lot of the core features, a lot of the small things, the presentation aspects of the game, having the schools, the stickers on your head. That stuff's really cool. I'm just wondering, is the gameplay is it gonna be the same Madden gameplay with better features? Because even if it is, it's not the end of the world per se. But I just
Hmm.
know this is their time to really, this is
Step it
when
up. Yeah, this is time to
you
like
have
really do
three
a
years
lot.
to develop everything. The gameplay is not going to change after this. I know for a fact.
Hmm.
No matter what happens, the gameplay, whatever happens in this next game is going to set the rest of the college football games and Madden for the next however so many years. So it's just, even if the presentation and the features are great, if the gameplay isn't that good, then I am a little worried for the long term future just because they're never going to change the gameplay. And that's really my thing with Madden. So I
Yeah.
guess we'll see.
I heard that it's gonna be more looser, more fun because college football it's more chaotic and the whole state of college football is just chaotic in its core. So you want like more loose gameplay where you can actually like air raid it out if you want to go air raid. I just want blocking to be like not like broken like sometimes it was in NCAA 14. I played that game. I'm pretty sure I have over 1,000 hours in NCAA 14 throughout my Xbox and then my PS3 emulator here on the computer. So I played a lot
Oh,
of
that's
NCAA 14. So the gameplay is like very like, there's some like routes that you can break the system and all that. Recruiting, you can kind of get around some stuff. So to kind of get it more controlled, but also keep that fun aspect of the college football gameplay that it should be, then that's all I really ask for. It looks like Dynasty mode's gonna be fun regardless. Like anybody that just wants to like create your own, like I get to create UNF into college football 25, and that's just like fantastic to think about. You can make UCF finally the best school in the state of Florida when it
what do you
comes to
mean
like college.
finally?
Finally, one-time national champion UCF. My bad. One
Oh,
more
it'll
recently.
be more than one if I get on Dynasty. So
But it's just something to look forward to as well.
they're
Like
gonna
leading
they're
up to
gonna say the term Mickey Mouse Championship so many times.
Hmm.
referring to UC. But
Hey, they'll have those space uniforms in the game too. Yeah, that's just gonna be sick to look at. Every time I play UCF, I'm just gonna have them wear the space uniform. Doesn't matter where they're at. I like those.
yeah, it's just I'm really just curious how the gameplay will look, and I really won't know until it's
We get in
there in
our
my
hands.
hands.
Yeah, I'm very curious too. I'm still gonna get the early access version of the game because I just want to play it as soon as I can. Like I can't help myself when it comes to football games. And the fact we have
Just
our hope for the best football game in over a decade is just it's just an exciting possibility at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, as I said, I'm gonna be in San Diego when it drops,
Oh
so
hell, I have to just tell you that that's
I know. I mean,
crazy.
that's the thing. I'm kind of glad because I'll
Yeah.
be able to get
So
away from
like
it a little bit.
that's true. So you can see what people are saying. You get a better like feel for it. That's fair. Like,
I
cause if you have that same bullshit on defense where you can like jump routes easily and whatever, then it's just gonna be like more tedious than not. Like if we have like a better team, there's no chance. Like if you're like Georgia Bulldogs, but if Kennesaw State is doing that weird bullshit where they just like jump a route, whatever, then you're just like, oh, like
I just the things I hate about Madden, just acrobat animations when you throw it, and then a linebacker will literally jump in the air,
yeah.
and they'll this high point interception, and it's so unrealistic. Or even there's literally one play very specifically where I'm playing against a player. They had Patrick Mahomes, so
Mm-hmm.
obviously best quarterback, all the range gonna be great, right? And so there's a tiny bit of pressure, and Mahomes wildly overthrows a pick, literally 10 yards to my defender.
And you're just like, okay, great, but also like, oh, I would be
But that's
upset.
just, and then the worst part was that after I was running, I fumbled, and then he would turn it back for a touchdown. But the interception have never happened. That's really the thing, is that the interception should have happened in the first place for me to complain about.
Mm-hmm.
Because why is it that a little bit of pressure and I can't do anything? There's just so much things where if they fix it, not even if they
Or just
fix it, but
50-50 balls. I've never seen an offensive player with a 50-50 ball in like the recent Maddens. Have your wide receiver won a 50-50 ball unless they have an X
it's
factor?
I feel
No.
it's very hit or miss.
Yeah, so I'm also scared a little bit now since you're kind of bringing me down from like, hey, this
I
is,
mean, hey,
just yeah.
if you enjoy it,
Yeah.
then I think for what it is worth, at the very least, I know that the franchise mode is going to be a lot more in depth. So at the very worst case scenario, even if it is a man reskin, it's a man reskin with better features and more depth in it. I'm just hopeful that the gameplay is a noticeable step better than current Madden.
Hmm.
I don't know if it will be just due to the fact that it's the same engine and I feel because of they can't really have the gameplay be too different because if everyone buys NC, no one buys Madden, then so I feel they have to keep it closely in line, and which is I guess we'll see how that works.
Hmm. If my offensive lineman in college football 25 isn't liking every Donald Trump post on True Social,
Yeah, I
I
don't
do
want to.
not want him.
If he is not getting offended at the boys, then he are not on my team.
Exactly. Oh God, the last episode of The Boys was so fucking good too. Generational show. I can't believe people were doubting this show. Can't believe it. Shout out Giancarlo Esposito as well. He's just a phenomenal actor.
Man.
But like, yeah, I can't wait for more
Dude,
boys.
okay.
I can't wait for more Jaguar
Okay,
football.
unrelated. Speaking
Yeah.
of oh boy, have you been seeing people call Ronaldo Homelander?
Ronaldo is fucking
Oh no.
crazy. No, but he's 100% accurate. And
It is
that's
though.
modern day Ronaldo. He's basically just fucking
The
Homelander,
whole Naldo memes are absolutely insane.
but it's 100% accurate. I can't believe we didn't think of it sooner. He's basically Homelander right
And
now.
then they put his face on the Homelander gif when he panics and he smiles, and they
Yeah,
literally made home Naldo into his own gif.
I know. Homenaldo, Ronlander. Like I think Homenaldo sounds better. It's just Homenaldo, brother. Like,
Who you're rooting
oh
for in
my,
Euros.
I can't. I don't want to talk about U.S. soccer either. That shit fucking disappoints me.
All right, we have
I'm
found and
partial.
compromised a permanent end.
Right.
Greg Berhalter.
I'm begging. Why the fuck they haven't fired him yet is very concerning to me. But like, I'm
Surely there's
5%
gonna be
Spanish.
some
I'm
rich
like I got a
billionaire.
small Spanish blood in me. It's probably the colonization, but I got to root for Spain just because I have like partial Spanish blood.
There's got to be some billionaire out there who's gonna
But
say,
as long as
Jurgen,
England loses in the finals again, that's it's all gonna be worth it. That's all. I just hope England loses the finals again, and it's all gonna be worth it.
that's fair. There's got to be some billionaire who's gonna say, Jurgen, how much will it take you to coach the U.S. team?
Yeah, please,
How
Jurgen
much would it
Klopp.
take for Mourinho?
Mourinho, he's already in Turkey though. He took a new job. He
Man, we
can't.
can pay more than. Well, actually, I don't know. That's Saudi.
Fenerbahce, you
That's
gotta
Saudi
step
money.
aside. Yeah.
Can we go band for band with Saudi money? I don't know, but
Nah, but he's in Turkey now. He's in Fenerbahce. There in Turkey, so he can't take a new job. He'll have to at least stay there for a year. But God, even just someone like with good tactical knowledge of like ball. It could just be like Rafa Benitez, who is also a very defensive coach, but at least he knows what he's doing because he's won the Champions League, you know? Like just someone with some actual football knowledge. Please come to the United States and manage our national team. But the fact that Jurgen Klopp is could consider the United States is a very wild possibility. But also, I would throw as much money. I hated this man in Liverpool, but if he's he's the most American man you could possibly imagine at that point. Like, please, please, Jurgen, you fucking asshole, come to the United States. I'd love you forever. I'd take back every bad word I've said about you when you were Liverpool boss. Because he owed Newcastle, so that's why like I just need the reverse. I want to love this man for once.
that's fair. Yeah, I
But
guess we'll see how Euros go.
yeah, because I don't care about Copa America anymore because this fucking disgrace of a national team is the disgrace. Just oh, I
But
love
speaking
US
of
soccer.
speaking of that, did you see that there was an international football tourney under 20 and the US lost
Oh
because
yes, actual American
they
football.
weren't allowed to bring NCAA players.
Yeah, it's
But
just high schoolers, just elite high school
dude,
prospects. Yeah.
just get all the elite high school basketball players that played football in high. I'm 20 per. This is a disgrace to the US of A. I'm sorry. Fourth of July is around the corner, and we're not first place in a football tournament.
Yeah, no, that's horrific. In Canada of all places too, where they held this thing, like
You let Canadians beat you in football? Come on, come on. Listen. Just get all the upcoming Georgia recruits. Say, hey, we're gonna get you some practice.
that's
Even
crazy.
just literally just get a bunch of
IMG
19-year-old.
Academy, just bring
Yeah,
IMG
just
Academy.
send out IMG Academy right now. They would steam. Did they look like Bishop Sycamore out there? Come on.
Like that clip of where the Japanese running back like ran like 70 yards for I was like, bro, what is this tackling? Please. I'm gonna kill
Send
myself.
out IMG out there right now. We would win every game by at least 3 touchdowns.
Unbelievable. I just this entire like sport.
What are the what when they see a 6'9", 350 offensive tackle, what are they gonna do?
Exactly,
I'd love to
nothing.
know.
Like exactly.
But
But
oh man, glad
yeah,
we got to talk ball.
it's been a while, a long time coming. Once training camp comes in, it's just gonna be round and round and go once again. We're almost there. We're almost here. The college football 25 coming out just gives me like at least occupied with football coming up again.
I hope it's good for yours, for everyone's sake. But
I hope it's good. I know. I just want like my little short rebuild with the Gators because they should be not like as bad as they have been. But I get to make UNF an actual football program again, and I can just do it myself, which is fantastic. But Javal, thank you for spending time with me. I have to get ready for work soon. Any final words before we get to training camp, basically? I can't hear you.
I hope it was just tax fraud. That's all I got to say. Peace
Oh,
out.
you muted
If
yourself.
if you
No, I
know
couldn't
if you
hear.
know you know.
I hope it's tax fraud too. All right. He was one of our loyal listeners too, which is so fucking crazy. I hope it's just tax fraud, brother. If you ever get out and listen to this down the line, I hope it's just tax fraud, brother. Have a good night, Jamal. Have a good day.
Take care, John.
My
Take care.
God. Oh man.